The hell I wanna read today? A shooting or some looting, people rooting either side away. Maybe a murder that I heard of, they try to justify the dread. Makes me wanna turn around, drag myself right back in bed. I just can't comprehend.
This content is for informational purposes only. You should not construe any such information or other material as legal, tax, investment, financial, or other advice. Nothing contained on here constitutes a solicitation, recommendation, endorsement, or offer by Draper Goren Holm or any third-party service provider to buy or sell any securities or other financial instruments whatsoever.
Hey everyone, it is me. We are here. Joseph is here too. Say hi, Joseph.
Hey, what's up?
Boom, boom, boom. We're recording.
Good morning, everyone.
Hey, everyone.
Hey, everyone.
Hey everyone.
Hey, everyone.
I am recording this on the computer now.
Hey everyone.
Hey, everyone. Hey, everyone.
Hey everyone.
Boom. All right. It says it's recording. Boom, 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 boom. I am apparently recording.
The entire bottle of control. They're all exactly the same.
Crypto art, and then what it really is an NFT.
Wow.
Eddie wants to slap the bag.
So this is the next best thing.
DeFi is going to be a bubble.
It's provably scarce.
With Mad Dog.
Crypto, gold, and silver.
Transparent substance.
Take my money, start a war with it.
Without further ado,
Cheers to you, brother.
Get shit done.
Because the system has to collapse before that.
Cheers, I feel much better now.
Cheers.
wow, that was heavy.
Boom. Welcome to Blockchain and Booze number 159. I'm super stoked to be hanging again with Mr. Suit, who hasn't been on for a little while, and John, aka Sailor Gary.
How we doing, guys?
We couldn't get the filter going, so here's Sailor Gary for y'all. But super excited. There's I think a ton of fun updates from John, and I wanted to also hit up Mr. Suit and talk about all the Bored Ape stuff going on. Like I started to claim all of these things. I FOMO'd into a whatchamacallit with a companion yesterday because none of mine had a companion because I refused to pay someone to play the game for me, and I just sucked at the game. And so I had to get a companion. Might have been good timing because they did the thank you, Blue. I'm using a thing called Adobe Character Animator, which is super fun. And I think Matt, Mr. Suit, I said I wasn't going to do that. Mr. Suit is using one from, what's the company called? I know you gave them some love.
Oh yeah, it's a Filter, FILT3R.
Nice.
Share them.
I got to get a Punk Ape Strong from them. And Sailor Gary's got to get a Sailor Gary.
Oh yeah, they're doing a white
lots
list
of cool. Oh, cool. We're going to have to figure that out and maybe have them on or something to talk about it, or have you on to talk about it. I love the eyes on your filter. Sure. They're really super legit. It's really crazy. Oh, I think it was a setting on mine, but I made the eyes be in sync so that I couldn't wink. I don't know why I did that. I should test that. I could play with mine, but wouldn't that be a fun live stream? An hour of us just like making faces with our filters. It's probably someone out there that would appreciate that. But yeah. So guys, welcome. Blockchain Booze number 159. Oh, I should say for everyone watching all this stuff, what's up, Ben? For everyone watching, and like Blue, who is on LinkedIn, and people watching on LinkedIn or YouTube or on the Lunar Crush live pages, If you go to blockchainbooths.io, it'll redirect you to the DGH events website where you'll be able to log in and chat with the community. That's predominantly the chat that I check out while we're on. So if you have any questions for the apes or anything like that, let us know, hop in there. And also when we're done, you can turn on your camera, hang out with the community and have some fun. Oh, cool. Mr. Suit sent me the link. If you're in that chat on blockchainbooths.io, I just shared the link to Filter, that company that Mr. Suit is using their filter tonight. But let's start with John. Dude, what's up? I know Mike, who a lot of the community knows, is in New York right now for all of the festivities. I'm feeling some FOMO right now with starting to get some messages. But
right,
how are things going? Can people put him in a headlock and get some premium spirits?
Think if you give him a shake, a couple of bottles may or may not fall out.
That's what happens when I see you at an event.
But yeah, running around Web 2 and Web 3. We got the traditional distillery, the Web 3 CPG pairing, little Web 2.5.
Yeah, you know what? Give everyone a little bit. Anyone who doesn't already know you, a little bit of the update on what Spirit Punk's nifty spirits is.
Yeah. So we basically have a world-class distillery up in Northern California. We have another company, Nifty Markets, which is doing CPG tooling and pairing, kind of aggregating kind of different resources you would want, any kind of consumer packaged good, whether it's Web3 native or kind of legacy Web 2, to kind of bridge audiences or markets in the Web3 and value propositions, whether it's different styles of token gating, physical products with mint capacity, back end customer resource management tools. There's kind of a huge sector of value that Web3 enables for physical assets. And Spirit Punks is kind of our collaborative kind of hybrid showcase between the two companies, really kind of showing what some of those value propositions look like. So that started about almost 2 years ago, September 21. We did a release, a premium vodka. I know many of you guys are.
I got one here in my office.
One
you can
up
see
on
right behind me
on your back shelf.
I just took a shot of it before the show.
And we released that broad market. We have that. We finally circled back. We have some available online on spiritpunks.io. It's taken a handful of learning curves and different hurdles to jump through to make certain pieces possible. Very excitingly, one of our projects you guys have many of the regulars have heard about is our Doge vodka. We have two formats of that, actually. I have two different bottles to show you. We have our
there's the one you get with the Rocket Pass, right?
Yeah, here's the Founders Edition. It's actually a velvet label. It's kind of a pretty unique, and this is our more kind of broad market. Very excitingly, we just are re-signing a co-venture agreement with the ASPCA, which is the American Society for Prevention of Cruelty to Animals. A lot of part of the learning curves, and kind of the whole process here is that when you do partnerships with nonprofits, you normally have to sign close-end annual agreements, and we kind of jumped into that headstrong, obviously wanting to position this project, kind of where our ethos was, but we really kind of signed these partnerships before we had the physical products created and before we had our go-to-market strategy tapped down. So as of December, we've kind of had a bunch of physical products we've created, but have limitations on our ability to sell it. So it's fantastic news that they're willing to kind of
Yeah.
re-extend this. We kind of with that green light should have this available in the next week or two in a major California retailer all across the state. It's basically we've sold it to them at cost to start to make good on the payments that we have otherwise been a little behind on it to the ASPCA. But kind of, you know, just building in a bear. You know, it's we've learned an incredible amount. We have some fun kind of transparency posting and that we'll be putting out in the next couple of weeks. We're going to be extending the Founders Edition mint for another month or two, and then
so there's a couple things that happened in the chat. Ben in our chat said he purchased the NFT, but he never redeemed a bottle. Where do you go to redeem it? And then I wanted to share this really quick to show people. Roberto just shared this picture in the chat.
Ooh, so fire.
There we go.
Yep.
These are some Doge bottles, some board. What are those, like hip flask kind of bottles? The board vodka.
The DGen hundreds. Yeah. So exactly. We have a couple more products that are kind of rolling out. To answer Ben's question, you can go to our website, spiritpunks.io. In order to do the redeem function, you'll basically, it's again, you know, kind of part of the learning curve. You know, it wasn't as clean as all the pieces weren't as clean as we wanted to. So we want to kind of refine things to make them cleaner moving forward. That said, there is still functionality to the existing NFTs, and there will be.
Guys, I just had an idea. I know that we have conversations and then they sidetrack, and I have like 18,000 ideas. And people who watch Blockchain Booze understand this, but I just want everyone to know that this happens in every conversation in real life. Like we have a call to discuss something and then we go into these ideas. But I bought some of those rocket passes and I purposely didn't redeem them because I thought I'd use them for different things. Last week, or maybe it was the week before, we talked about Lunar Crush is doing the Nakamoto 1 NFT drop, and what that is actually doing is they're going to put Bitcoin on the actual moon. So there's a I was going to say Martian rover, but a lunar rover that's going to a place called Shackleton Ridge to research the moon, and they're going to basically hitch a ride on that rover and put a plate on the side of the rover that has tamper-proof seal that you actually have to unscrew and take off to get the private keys to unlock a bunch of wallets. And one of those wallets will be an ETH wallet. I think I'm going to send a rocket pass to the actual moon. So I'm committing to that now. Actually, I'm 100%. So part of the treasure hunt, you might get like a few $1 million worth of Bitcoin, but who cares? You could get a rocket pass if you somehow get to the moon. And you know, I what I'm thinking is people should do projects where they kind of like consider part of it burned by sending it to this wallet on the moon. But there's a chance that like some astronaut goes rogue or somebody actually sends like a rover or a device to the moon to unscrew this thing and get the private keys. So I'm sending a rocket pass to the moon. So you could go and buy it like a normal person, but I mean, it would be way cooler if you sent a human or a device to the moon, got the private keys, and redeemed your rocket pass for a bottle of vodka. So we're and a lot more. But so just I'm throwing that out there. There will be a rocket pass that
we do not ship to the
pass.
moon. So you have to come back to the continental United States.
You know what?
To receive a physical bottle.
But you are the person who collects it. I will find a way to get a bottle into like a SpaceX rocket to the moon. Actually, I shouldn't commit to that. I'll try my best.
That's quite the commitment.
It's like millions and millions of dollars. The person calls me out on it. I mean, that would be great for the you know, marketing ridiculousness. But I can't commit to the millions and millions of dollars to hitch a ride on a SpaceX rocket. Sorry, friends, but I'll try. I'll try to, you know, find a way to get to Elon Musk and do it. I mean, he did reply one time to an email thread that I was on, and he said no thanks, but he did reply. So I have emailed him before. Just saying. So okay, going back to Spirit Punks and all the craziness. So ASPCA is renewing. That's really freaking rad. So that means those Doge vodkas, the edition that's not the special edition for the Rocket Passes, but the normal party edition ones. Is that the one that I'm thinking of? Party edition?
The Founders Edition is the one you get through the NFT.
Yeah.
Ben, just to answer your question quickly, DM Spirit Punks _, on Twitter or Instagram, or Sailor Gary on Twitter, and we can answer any questions. Just click the connect link on the site, spiritpunks.io. Has some few headaches, but we will be launching a bunch of fun activations with that. Those will be kind of our forever coveted Founders NFTs, which will kind of have all the inclusive downstream, but we aim to make that a lot clearer and more concise from a user standpoint.
That's super cool. And then what I was going to say about the party edition ones, with the renewing of the ASPCA, that you're going to be able to buy it on your website and buy it in stores soon, right?
So yeah, basically we have something like, 2013 of the Founders Editions. That's the year Doge was created, tied with the NFTs. Those are redeemable 1-for-1 through the NFT right now. The way we had to do that was set it up through a third-party retailer, because alcohol has a bunch of extra fun tiers of compliance to play with. But we ultimately want to make good on our commitment to the ASPCA first, then sell the product, then be as directly committed to our community on the original promises we made, and then kind of sell the product broad market and eventually make some money doing so.
The crypto markets and the NFT markets and all this stuff aren't exactly cooperating with all of us at the moment, but to be fair, the world is currently a dumpster fire when it comes to any markets. So I would say the crypto market and NFT market are actually like super on fire compared to every other market there is.
Comparatively.
So comparatively, not as it only makes can make us feel good, internally, and it's like I don't know. It's
like the world's on fire. So.
Exactly, the world's on fire, but we're holding a cup full of water, right? And it's like, hey, we can feel good about this, but it's exactly.
This is fine.
Yeah. What's that? It's like there's that one meme with the cartoon like dog where everything's on fire around them. But I think there are great times ahead beyond this moment, and I think you guys are killing it and preparing for that world. And to be super optimistic, right? I hope, and I'm saying this out loud, that booze is generally recession proof, right? Like, so your traditional business, I hope, is doing okay in this crazy time. I won't make you respond to that, but I hope
will.
so.
It will be.
Yeah. Good. And I was somebody gave me shit in the chat that said you didn't even redeem yours. I didn't redeem mine for two reasons. One, I'm saving my Rocket Passes for giveaways and things like that, because I want the people who receive it to not get one that was already redeemed. That's pretty messed up. And then two, John at one point about a year ago or so sent me like a lifetime supply of premium vodka. And I will never be able,
which is like 2 bottles for Alon. He doesn't drink a lot of vodka.
Exactly. That's the thing, is I don't drink very much. I will say that I've been married now for about 15 years, and there was like a moment a few years ago where we opened up our liquor cabinet and we had a bunch of those like giant handles of booze, and I'm throwing my hands up, but you can't see it because of the filter. Those giant, like, I don't know, 2-liter bottles or whatever those giant handles are of booze that were from our wedding, that were sitting there like 3/4 of the way full, that we still hadn't drank, and we just decided to dump them all. And because it was like, again, it was like 10-year-old booze, and it probably was fine, but that's how much I drink. So what you gave me, it was more than 2 bottles. It was like, I don't know, 10 bottles plus like a million of those mini
Maybe
bottles.
3 bottles.
Yeah, there was a lot. And I will say there will be an event in LA at some point soon where I show up with a backpack full of those mini booze bottles and make everyone really happy. It's bound to happen. But Mr. Suit, I want one of the reasons why I asked you to join us on here is there's just been literally like every day, I feel like lately there's been some update from Yuga Labs and some other side or Bored Ape update. And I just wanted to check in with you. What are you super excited about? What's happening?
There's so much.
John, were you able to make the second other side trip, the recent one? I missed it because I was actually at a thing that day.
I was. Yeah. I'm so bullish on Yuga. I mean, everyone. It's there's a lot of asset dilution, but they really are pioneering a like gamified play to engage to earn metaverse. And
crazy.
I don't think every Yuga asset will or needs to be $1,000 assets, 3 years from now. I think they're going to get.
They all are now.
They are for a second, but I think people are like, wow, there's hundreds of thousands of Yuga assets now, and you're like, how many assets are there in Diablo? How many assets are there in Fortnite?
I don't know, man. On Diablo, I collected like a bazillion ears. Remember, like when you kill somebody, you got to keep their ear or whatever. Sorry, blockchain and booze is going to soon turn into old men who played video games. I'm probably the oldest of the three of us, but
digital rock collectors.
Mr.
It's like Ether Rocks.
Yeah, dude, Ether Rocks is crazy.
Gosh.
Wait, okay. David just said winged helmet. Somebody was talking to me about helmets and shit.
I'm so mad. I was on the green team and like everyone was just standing around. I was like, why? I'm like running around trying to collect this stupid thing.
I missed out. So like, are these helmets this thing, like something you got for participating? Because I was gone that day.
Yeah, if you won, it's a relic.
Team. Like the winning team won those helmets, but I think they're just cosmetic. People are like speculating, but I think it's just speculation.
Okay, so they're probably cosmetic and probably won't be worth a lot someday. So I won't feel bad because I don't sell anything anyway. So it's not like
they're already worth like 0.8 ETH, which is
0.8. Are they?
Yeah,
they were like 0.2 or 0.3 like a couple days ago.
I know.
If you just participated, if you had a Yuga asset and you participated, you had a 1 in 4 chance of having a $500+ asset.
About $1,000 right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So tell me about that, because I was super stoked. My kids and I joined on the previous ones. We didn't get to join this one because I was out, but we joined on the previous ones, and I was so impressed by the fact that it was in browser. There was no plugins to download. Thousands of people playing concurrently. Was it the same? Did you have to download any plugins? Was it all in browser still?
Yeah, but they changed it where before it was, like Chromium browsers. This time they like only Chrome. So like 10 minutes before I like logged in, I was like, oh snap.
No Brave or anything like that.
Yeah, so I was using Brave and I had to like switch really quickly. But yeah, like a lot of people just couldn't even participate because like I know of a few people who are like couldn't participate because of that, because they didn't have their MetaMask on the Chrome. Yeah.
in
Google is
Chrome
like,
and
do you
all that.
guys want 20 million right now?
No, you know what? You know what's crazy is you're saying that kind of as a joke, but I don't know if you guys remember this. My first like legit full-time job like in the tech world was at MySpace, and the reason why MySpace was actually like probably maybe, I don't know, fuzzy accounting, but probably a really good deal for Fox to buy back in the day was, if you guys remembered, there was a few $100 million a year deal after Fox acquired MySpace to have Google power the search within MySpace. And that deal was a few $100 million. So it wouldn't be necessarily like a bad thing for Google to go to some community. I mean, I don't think the numbers are meaningful enough for Google. Like it's a few thousand people, like it's, I don't know, 50,000 people max. So probably not, but because they already have all of the eyeballs. But it's not out of the realm for a group to be like, yeah, we'll give you $100 million to only work in our browser. I mean, you're instantly going to get these diehard community people who are going to play games. Like if you believe it's kind of like the adult version, next version of Roblox or something like that, I've been doing the research lately and talking about it way too much, but Roblox has more kids playing it every single week than NFL has people watching regular season games in the average week. So think about that. Like Roblox is bigger than the NFL. If you believe that the other side could be kind of like the next iteration of that kind of thing, makes sense, right? Like only use our browser. We'll pay, Yuga this, a ton of money or whatever. And then what happens? You think like those kids, those people like us wouldn't download Chrome if that's not our main browser to play it? We would absolutely figure that shit out. It's I don't know. It's not the craziest idea, but okay, Mr.
I have two friends who bought vessels. Another side, basically as their first NFTs, essentially.
Nice.
That outside of what I've given them is just derivative junk NFTs. They're like the first. They actually went and
official
bought
Yuga. Nice.
That's pretty freaking
official.
Awesome.
Like
did
NFTs,
you guys?
I'm like,
did you guys decouple?
I didn't.
Yeah.
So I didn't have any. I didn't. So this is my part of my thing lately, right? So I didn't pay anybody any ape or pay anybody any money to play my my passes for me, because I thought like I'm being like a purist. I'm like, that's against the spirit of the game, right? Which is just stupid because I could have made a ton more money, right? But I was like, it's against the spirit of the game, so I'm going to play it the way it's supposed to be played, and I didn't do that. For the same reason, I claimed my other side deeds at the time, and I have 3 mutants and 1 ape, and so I got 4 deeds, and I didn't get any codas, and so I don't have anything to decouple from it, but there is that process. Actually, I texted this to you on WhatsApp, so check it. I don't know. I don't think I went into detail, but I basically said like, holy shit, this decoupling process feels so shady right now, because it forces you you're burning the NFT to claim like a new version of your deed, and then to get like, what's that thing, like an element or something like that? What's it called?
Vessel. Yeah.
A vessel. To get a vessel. Okay, I'm mixing up a vessel and the what's the thing that has a companion?
The heavy metal.
Okay, the heavy metal. I'm mixing up the heavy metal and the vessel. So to get my vessel, I have to burn my other deed, right? So yeah. I was scared that I was doing something wrong for like a split second, and I ended up abandoning in the middle of the process. So I'm gonna have to. I mean, I could do it live right now. We could share my screen, and I can do
Watch as you accidentally burn the wrong.
That's why I stopped, because I was like, shit, I need to get on like a Zoom with Mr. Suit or one of our other friends that's an ape and make sure I'm doing this right, because I don't have a coda, so I'm not getting a coda out of it. I'm just claiming that vessel.
Getting your vessel,
right? And I just got scared in the process. I'm like, wait, I'm burning an NFT. I don't have a coda. Am I supposed to be doing this? Did I click the wrong thing? And so I backed out of it. And then I went to that one website where you go and you know how like you can you approve assets on certain websites, and then there's a website where you can unapprove all the assets.
Yeah.
So I did that really quick because I was like all paranoid. I can try to do it now if you guys want. But so okay, so now there's vessels, which is something. Heavy metals. I actually FOMO'd into a heavy metal last night. I swapped some ape and some things that I had and bought a heavy metal that had a companion. So I feel good about that. And then today they
which
they
kind
tweeted,
of heavy metal?
What was that?
Oh, which kind of heavy metal did you get?
I'll
like
tell you
Celestial
right now.
or Reaper or?
So I had a few. Hold on, I'll just go to my page and I'll have to connect my wallet to go there because it's just OpenSea/Elon. So I got a. Let's change the view. Let's see if there's details. So I got heavy metal with a companion HV type glitch. So heavy type glitch, but I already had a dynamic, a bio, and then what are these ones? 2 more dynamics. So I had 3 dynamics and a bio. So when I went for the companion one, I just went off the floor and grabbed the first one that was different from the different than dynamic or bio, because those are my the ones I had. So I got a glitch type with a companion, which what did I buy it for? Let's see. Did I lose money when I bought it yesterday, or is it up? Not that it matters. I bought it for 3.9 ETH, which is kind of ridiculous and insane. But currently, if you want a companion, how do you see it? Where is it? Companion. Yes. Currently, the floor on companion is 4.2 ETH. I could make money, but boom. There you go. Maybe I sell one of my other ones to make up for it, but I don't know. So okay, yeah. David. You know what? Maybe we need to get David on here too to ask about this, because he's doing this also. But okay, wait. So what, Mr. Sue? You are way deeper than I am. So we've got the vessels, we got the companions, the heavy metals. Can you give us like a breakdown of what they are and do you know exactly what they're going to be for, or is it still kind of a bit of a mystery?
It's still a mystery. I think it's like kind of 2 divergent paths that are like always related, but like a little different. Like the vessels are going to be for like to like evolve into Kodamaras on the other side, and then I think the heavy metals are more for like the mini games, kind of like Dookie Dash, and like there's like a next step, more like mini games and stuff that you're going to be able to do to like, I'm guessing, evolve them further. But I think it's kind of like that's part of like that storyline, and then the vessels are part of like other side, other deeds.
That's cool. The way I kind of look at it, and I'm seeing it so far, is it kind of feels like I mentioned the like correlation or like comparison to like Roblox, but like Roblox is this platform, right? You log in, for people that don't know, and it's like, I don't know, like playing Nintendo, right? You buy a Nintendo, but Nintendo isn't the game. Roblox isn't the game. Roblox is the platform, and there's a million games within it. And some games are super complicated and detailed, and you can play them for days and hours and hours and hours and hours, and it's just, and they update every week, and there's all sorts of things. And then some games are stupid basic. Like there's literally one game that my kids joined one day, and I'm looking over their shoulder, and it was a bunch of the avatars, like the Roblox avatars, running to like a town square where there's a giant bottle in the middle of the town square, and things were falling from the sky, filling up the bottle, and they had like 10 seconds to guess how many of the things are in the bottle. Like, you know, like when your teacher would be like, how many M&Ms are in this thing? Like the kid who guesses it wins whatever, right? Like that. but just over and over and over again. And the people who won got like, 100 gems, and then you move on to the next one. So there's like really basic, stupid, casual games, and then there's really intricate games. But it's a game platform, and the only way to buy things in that game platform is with something called Robux. But you can't get Robux out of the system, and you can't trade the in-game assets and all of this stuff, right? And so I look at the other side. I'm like, okay, here's the platform. You can only transact in ape coin or whatever. But when, if Mr. Suit and I decide to make the, guess how many, guess how many bow ties are in the bottle game, and you earn a Mr. Suit tie clip, then you can take that tie clip, and I can make another game in there, and you can use it in that game, or you can sell it on OpenSea, and you can do these things. You can basically, it takes it to the next level, right? You can earn ApeCoin. You can do things that, wasn't really in existence when Roblox was created, but also it's more for a mature audience, and people want to trade and do these things, right? So to me, I think it's just the next evolution. And when I look at my kids playing and I play these games, like, it makes perfect sense, right? Like it really is the next iteration. You play a game like Pet Simulator X, and you hatch an egg, and you take that egg and you trade it with somebody for gems, and then you take that gem to buy a new egg, and you do whatever. Like, it feels like NFT trading, and the kids look at it and it's like, it's totally natural to them. They care about those digital assets more than they care about the physical goods. They'll go to Target to buy the actual physical goods that come with a digital asset in the game, and they never look at the physical thing ever again. They go play the game. So, we're going to be buying our premium spirits, redeeming the digital asset, never even drinking the vodka, so that we could get, that's not true, but, but you'll be buying the premium so that you can get the special ape asset to play in, Sailor Gary's barroom game on his other side land.
Including non-alcoholic assets also.
That's right. Like mixers and tumblers and things like that. Oh my God. Who's building this right now? Are we building this? If you're in the chat, you can build this. Let us know.
One brick at a time.
Yeah. Okay. So where I was going with that long rabbit hole rant was,
David, where are you at?
Let's we do need to get David back here. David, text me on WhatsApp if you can hop into the chat, and I'll give you the link. So where I was getting at with that is everyone is mad at me for even suggesting that we wouldn't drink the vodka. I'm sorry, it was a joke. Of course. Especially the premium vodka. I don't know. I never was a drink vodka person, like on its own, like take a shot of vodka. But when I've had the premium, it's good. It really is. It's not the same.
It should always. I mean, you can always mix it.
You can, but I'm saying I never had a vodka where somebody's like, "They're doing a shot of vodka," and been like, "Ooh, that's delicious." But when we've done it with premium, I've very much enjoyed it. Just saying.
It's less painful.
Yeah, it's good.
Super smooth.
It's good. I wouldn't say less pain. It's good. But where I was going with that long rabbit hole into the comparison to the Roblox universe and all that is they have what did this person say? I wasn't taking notes. See, your privacy settings are blocking us from doing this. Says you will have to build it. But if you let us know who you are and you can build, or you have access to the other side API, I signed up for access, so maybe if I get it soon. David could join, but he doesn't have camera. That's okay. If he wants to join, I'll send him the link. Maybe the link's not working. Paste. All right, I'll get it. But where I was going was, I feel like the heavy metal assets, the all of these assets and pieces, the companions and all that Mr. Suit is talking about utilizing for these small games like Dookie Dash and stuff like that. I feel like it's a bit of training and a bit of, dog fooding and testing the first kind of assets and in-game things that can happen, because I think they're trying to spark the curiosity and show game developers what they could do in this new world. Because if I don't know, I went to my nephew who actually is a game developer for Roblox games, and I was like, I've literally just bugged the shit out of him, and I'm like, you got to build a game for the other side. You got to get API access. The second I get it, you're building games. Like, you and your crew, like, go into Discord and tell them, like, we're gonna do it. And I'm trying to push him to do it because I think there's just going to be so many cool opportunities in that world. It says David is there, but it says device is not connected. All right, we'll see if David connects at least audio, and I'll bring him on too. But Mr. Suit, so what do you think of that? Do you think it's going to be this platform? You think it's going to be predominantly Yuga games? Have you seen the API? You're an engineer, letting in behind the curtain a little bit. Have you seen the API docs yet, or the SDK yet?
No, I applied to, and then I made a tweet joke a while back saying I got access. And
people freak out.
But then the mods were like, "No, you didn't." So I have a feeling they haven't released access to anyone. And then some people that I know that are like big developers that should get access, like be the first, haven't gotten it yet. So I think they're still. But yeah, I think you're right. It's going to be a combination of, like, from the demo, it looks like our lands are going to be gigantic, and then once we have the lands, we could build hopefully whatever we want. We could build our own mini games. There's going to be, like, I'm guessing, farming of resources. You could steal resources from other lands, or
Is
other
that
deeds,
really
I
a
guess.
thing? Like, you'll be able to steal resources from other lands?
I think so, right? Because there's like one of the vessel types is like a enchanter, or like there's one that you could, like, theoretically, like, defend your land, like defend your resources and stuff. I think
that's pretty cool. I kind of love that.
Yeah,
I have a problem with it because I never am as active as I want to be, right? So, like, I like to collect these things. I like to play with it, and it's fun for me. And I would build something on my land, like I did with with Decentraland. Like, I built galleries and I goofed around with my kids and stuff like that. But I think having to defend it would freak me out a little bit. Like, I just don't pay attention for a week and I lose a bunch of resources or whatever. That would be pretty crappy. Like, I also feel like it's cool, but it will definitely be abused, right? Just thinking about how people run, like, arbitrage bots in crypto and basically, like, front run people's transactions and stuff. I feel like someone will run some kind of bot that will just steal the resources from everyone who's not paying attention to their other side land. Hopefully you have
there's a lot of theory that, like, the Legends of the Mara, which is like the kind of first round vessel, is going to be like a kind of Clash of Clans style tap in for 5 minutes a day on your phone.
Oh, cool. I'm going to try, like, really hard. I'm going to try to convince some, like, my nephew and some buddies. I'm going to try to convince Mr. Suit, any engineer I know, in Friend. I'm going to, like, I think we should build a little game studio, but, like, I think we need to focus on the super basic casual games. Like I was joking about that jar game where you jump in and you see the number of things that fall in the jar in, like, that simple game. But some of those games, get tons of engagement, right? Like, people sit on their phone. I mean, still, like, one of the most popular games in the world is Candy Crush, right? Like, it doesn't have to be super intricate and crazy. And you could play, if you can play on mobile and you can play very simply, I feel like a world exists to make, like, adult versions of those Roblox games. Like, I encourage everyone to look over their kid's shoulder the next time their kids beg them for $10 worth of Robux, and actually pay attention to what they're doing, because you're going to realize, like, oh, some of those stupid games you might play in bed while, like, the Real Housewives are on or some bullshit, like, your kids are playing versions of those games, just like kid versions, and you're playing adult versions. Not really adult, like Candy Crush is not an adult game, but it's like, Farmville and all these silly basic games that have tons and tons and tons of engagement. I think there's going to be a world where people play those games where they, just throw in 2 ape coin to upgrade my character so that I don't have to watch the ads in between the thing, or I get a tractor that's a little better or whatever. People are going to play those games, and those games are going to make millions and millions of dollars from the.
Did you see Levels? What venture Jordan Lyle and like?
I didn't see what Jordan did. No,
they did like a on-chain video game. They like built like basically asteroids.
Hey,
reboot,
wait!
But it's...
they stole my idea. Everybody, right now, I'm going to show you my technical abilities, and by technical abilities, I mean the ability to read documentation in GitHub and copy something and change very, very little. Everyone go to dgh.rocks in their browser and be very proud of my incredible development work that I did there.
So you could mint like 100 versions of that in as an NFT and have the game.
So, yeah, Tezos did this. There was this thing. The first time I ever saw anyone do it was on Tezos. So it's not PNG. What's the vector file you can do? What's the vector file extension? Hold on, I'll tell you guys in a second. So vector file format. SVG. So SVG. On SVG files, which are like the vector type files, you can actually, in the code of SVG files, include some JavaScript and some more dynamic code. And people on Tezos discovered this first, and they enabled NFTs as SVG files. And SVG files are very, very small because they're vector. All the graphics are vector. And so there was one of the first experiments was an NFT that was like this picture, right? Like, orbs and things like that. Like, it was very basic. And they made 50 editions of it. And then they made one edition of an NFT that actually you could move a slider with a bunch of different settings, and it changed what the orbs looked like for the other 50 holders. So you had the one of one where you had the sliders in this dynamic
That's
NFT,
true.
And then the other 50 people, whatever you move the sliders to do. So I bought the slider one, and I did something stupid. Like, it was like 500 Tez at the time or something dumb. It was a lot of money, but it was the coolest thing I'd ever seen in an NFT. It was the first time where an NFT controlled other NFTs. And I think that's kind of coming to Ethereum and coming to the rest of the world. But that's a cool thing, right? Like, imagine you own oh, that's a great idea. Ben is telling me to change the icon for the ship that captures your ship with a tractor beam to Gary Gensler's face. I'm gonna have to, I haven't looked at that code since the day I did it. I basically spent, I pulled an all-nighter, and that was it, because it was, I think, around the time I discovered that Lunar Crush was going to launch the Lunar token. What? So then I couldn't tell anyone about it either, because it was like, if I might be thinking of something else, but it was, I think I said something about Lunar on there. Oh crap. All right. Funny idea, Ben. I might do that. David, are you there? I brought you on, but then I kept talking.
It's all good. Yeah, I am here.
Did you join the that last other side? Or yeah, I'm seeing it. Said, "Let's go Team Blue."
Yeah, that's me right there.
Boom.
Wearing my helmet, man. That's the helmet.
Oh, wait, hold on. Make you bigger. How do I make you bigger?
That's the sweet helmet. That is worth I forget how much they're worth right now, but yeah, they're worth 0.46 ETH, whatever that is, about $900.
You can see your Fez and your little and your avatar in his face there.
Yeah, right.
That's cool.
That's awesome.
Yep. And so
and
those
you got
are
the helmet. Oh, I'm so jealous.
First wearable helmets. Yes, I'm very proud of that.
whatever.
My fingers were cramping up playing.
All the rest of us are gonna have punk ape strong guitars, and I'm not gonna send you one because you have a helmet.
Oh,
either that or one night I'm just gonna buy the helmet and do
feel
it
it
just because
I feel it. That's
FOMO.
harsh.
Wait,
harsh.
did I miss any one of those? Like, by not participating, did I miss like checking off any of those boxes? Remember, there was like on the first trip.
Did you go on the first trip?
No, I didn't. I didn't go on the first trip. I got so lucky. I actually got up out of the bed and I was like looking at Twitter, and I jumped into Twitter, and somebody was like, "Oh yeah, they're getting ready to do they do this event," and I'm like, "What?" I'm like, "No shit." I'm like, "Oh no, I need to go jump in this." So I jump in it, and I get in the waiting room, and like 5 minutes later, I'm in 5-10 minutes later, I'm in the game, and I'm like, "Oh wow, whoa, cool!" I'm actually playing. Like, I so was not anticipating it at all when I got into it.
I'm such a dumbass. I was like anticipating participating. I signed up to get the companion code or whatever. I sent the code to my son, like to his email, so that we could both participate from different computers. And I was like prepared. And then a couple days before, a buddy of mine was like, "Hey, on Saturday I'm doing this thing while I'm in town. Like, come hang out with me." And I was like, "Absolutely, let's go." And then while I was at the thing, I like looked down at my phone and saw a bunch of alerts, and I was like, "Oh crap!" I thought about like ditching. I was like, "No, I can't do it."
You can see in the background all those people, right?
Yeah.
So there was about there was what 2,200 helmets, about 2,200 helmets for the blue team. So there was about 4 times that amount of people in there. So I mean, like, there was a lot of people playing, and we were all playing at the same time. And so I mean, you just look, there's people like everywhere. So I mean, that's what like that's like 8,000 to 10,000 people playing in the game simultaneously on a browser. And it was just like, wow, this is like really cool.
That's so rad. And you think about it, like, because we're thinking about it as in browser, a laptop, whatever. The processing on our phones and on iPads and things like that are just as good as what we have in browser right now. So like, it's basically going to enable everyone to participate. Like, we have, thank God it doesn't support it, but like, my kid has a laptop from school that's like a little netbook kind of laptop, and it doesn't support Roblox because it can't handle downloading Roblox and all this stuff. All the kids try like 18,000 different ways to get Roblox loaded on because they're trying to sneak it at school and stuff, and it doesn't support it, right? And they have like a iOS app and all that, but it took them a while to get the iOS app. Just think that this is like, if it's browser compatible right now on Chrome, it doesn't matter the cheapest computer, the cheapest phones, the cheapest tablets, and around the world are going to be able to support these games. It's
for sure.
It's pretty radical.
Oh, do you remember Harvest Moon at all?
I don't think so.
It's a console game. It's like one of those games where you go out and you farm all that, right? Well, so I found this project that I just bought like yesterday called Pixels, where you have these little farmlands and you try to go out there and harvest and plant seeds, and there's a whole game mechanic to it, right? And it is crazy. So I'm in my 40s and I don't really play games much, but I bought a property and I'm like, well, now I got this property. I at least got to farm it to get it up to a level of the standard, right? And so I'm cutting trees down, and next I'm noticing that my characters are running out of energy. So now I'm like chatting in the group, hey, how do I get there? So there's a community, and they're like, go to the sauna. I'm going like, sauna? And so you go to the sauna and you just leave your guy there for like 30 minutes as he like regains energy. And I'm like, okay, this is crazy.
But dude, this is the thing, is you get sucked into these games. This is what I was talking about, those casual games too, because my kids go like, play this game. I'm like, no, I don't want to play Pet Simulator X or whatever. And he goes, play this game. And then you join, and then it's like, put your pets in the pet daycare, and in 6 hours you get these rewards. And then I'm like, check my phone a few hours later. I'm like, ooh, maybe I should log into Pet Simulator X to see if I could get my pets out of the daycare. And you're like, what the fuck am I doing? Like, I'm an old man. Like, I have a real life, and you get sucked in, and it's fun. And now I went from like being a little bit ashamed of it because it was, Roblox. Now I just tell everyone about it. They probably think I'm a creep, but like, I don't care. Like,
you want no secret? I got 2 rolls of nickels sitting on my table next to my keyboard, because every night, every couple nights, I'll log into a game and there's this one place where you go harvest right from these poles. I put the nickels on the keyboard, right? Leave it there for a half hour till I get to the spot where I can harvest.
I was doing something like that with a game, and my son's like, why don't you turn shift lock on in your settings? I'm like, what's shift lock? He's like, go to your settings. You can hit shift lock, and then you do this thing, and then like the character automatically jumps up and down, so I didn't have to be sitting there. You don't see my hand, but like sitting there hitting the thing over and over and over again. And he showed me in the settings how I could have my character automatically do it and collect the like tokens in the game. And it was like full degen, but I love that. You got a roll of nickels. That reminds, like, that is an old school like Diablo style move. I feel like that was something I did on my old Pentium 60. Dude, that's crazy. So, okay, John, like you're seeing all this stuff. I mean, you're participating with Sailor Gary, and you guys, I think, have a mutant or something too. Is some of this feeding into what might come next from the Spirit Punks world? Like, are you thinking of doing any branded boozes for this, or are you thinking about like the opportunities of participating in this world? Uh-oh. Can you hear me? What was that?
You're cutting out a little bit.
Okay, I was asking you if if this stuff is inspiring any potential Spirit Punks movements.
Yeah, I mean, the world of Web3 is not just evolution, and I think that has done anything. It's show really how powerful the artistry, cultural side of that revolution really is. There was, up until a week or two ago, a lot of ambiguity over the licensing of the codas themselves and what the end use rights were. There was some great clarification recently from Yuga. We had written a number of emails to Yuga asking for clarification in that regard, because the last thing you want to do is get a cease and assist from the 10,000 pound gorilla you're trying to be friends with. But yeah, I mean, in the hybrid between like Web 2 and Web 3, you want to ask yourself, if you're part of that, or on either sides of it, like what is it people actually want, from a user experience and a value proposition, and what are the costs of developing and delivering those, both from a community deliverability standpoint, but also a value proposition. So I think, sweet transition there, Suit. I don't think.
Yeah. I know. I'm getting jealous because you've switched between a couple now.
No, right? It's a flex. It's a bigger flex than collecting.
I think
Diablo ears.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
thanks.
It's an OG flex. Dude, do you guys remember like those first initial versions of Diablo where you could like connect with your modem to a server and play against just have like one or two people? Like that was a huge deal to connect with like a friend and just connect directly to their house, and then their mom picks up the phone, you guys get disconnected. That was a huge deal. Well, where I was getting at and like thinking about it, and I know we're kind of out of time, but I think everyone should keep going down this rabbit hole. But like, I I've been, so it used to be like my kids were into Roblox, and there were some things you could buy at Target, like literally at Target, where you buy like Roblox characters and you'd scratch a little scratcher that came with it, and you'd be able to get a code to redeem like an in-game asset. And it would be like a golden oof chain for your avatar, or like a hat, or like a weapon or something, right? And now like individual games have deals, right? Like, so you could buy, like I mentioned, Pet Simulator X. You could buy these Pet Simulator X eggs at Target or on Amazon. You could buy these plush toys. You could buy these treasure chests. And in them, you get these scratchers to get the in-game assets to get like the pets on Pet Simulator X. And kids are buying these. Like this, they sell out, and it's crazy. And like I said, every Saturday when they do the update, millions of kids play this game, right? So like, you know, what happens next? Like, could I buy a bottle of board vodka and get the scratcher that might get me Punk Ape Strong's glasses for my avatar, or his guitar for a game that we play, or like I said, Mr. Suit's tie clip. And
if you bought or buy a Doge Founders Edition NFT, probably the lamest low-hanging fruit value you'll get is a Decentraland metaverse asset. Who wants that? I don't know. We built it 8 months ago.
I'll take it. Yeah, dude, I love it.
We haven't marketed it yet. If you bought a premium bottle in real stores, it had an NFT under this guy. We're just inking the final details of it, but that should give you lifetime access to the Humane Society's Truckee Tahoe Jazz and Brew Fest they host in Squaw every year. Is that a huge value to most people? No, of course not. Like, and kind of putting those value pieces together with where your market is and where access to those value pieces is something we've been really kind of both discovering and really looking at over the last year, you know. And what's really great about Web3 is that it really enables you to ask these questions. I mean, what you're asking right now is so valuable. What does a community want? You know, do you want in-game asset?
I think there's gonna be different. I think there's gonna be
extra discounts on your.
I think there's gonna be communities within the community. Thank you, David, for joining. He mentioned that he had to sneak off, but we're gonna have to finish off soon anyway. But like, I think there's gonna be different communities within the community, right? Because like I keep doing the Roblox analogy, but there's like people who play that to play the games like Pet Simulator X, like I'm saying, and there's a whole group of people who buy those assets. Then there's groups of people that are like more like my daughter who play the role-playing games on there. And those games on there that are role-playing games aren't like RPGs like our style, like Zelda or something. They're literally just worlds that you get to hang out in and play in and do your own make-believe and choose your own adventure. And you're just like playing in a world and going like, I'm a puppy and I'm going to play with this puppy. And can I be your sister puppy? You know, and like that's what they do. But I think that when you have a platform, you have the ability to do that. But what I'm kind of thinking is like some people might buy a board vodka bottle because they think it's cool and there's an ape on it, right? Some people might buy it because 1 out of 100 of the bottles comes with Punk Ape Strong's glasses. But, you know, the more common thing was like 1 out of 5 bottles comes with Mr. Suit's hat he's wearing right now, right? Like, or other in-game assets for a game we haven't even imagined yet, right? Because we don't even know what these mechs are for, or these assets. Like, I don't know what kind of game I'm going to be playing with my companion, you know, in a month or 6 months or whatever. So I think there's going to be all these new communities, but I think that you've created a product that could enable, that could be a vessel, no pun intended, that could carry.
Yeah, it'd be a $1 really cool, instead of like. Things.
People will do the math. I know you're kind of cutting out, John. Is it John that's cutting out, or am I cutting out?
Instead of,
I think John's cutting out.
Oh, okay. So where I was getting at is like, you know, people can do the math. Sorry, John, you're cutting out and getting a little weird. But you know, where I was getting at is people can do the math, right? They'll be like in a game and they'll be like, I can buy this asset in the game for 10 ape coin, but I could buy this bottle of ape board vodka for 20 ape coin, and I have a higher likelihood of getting the more rare character trait or the more rare weapon or the thing. And people will start doing this just like they do in these other games, and it becomes part of the whole community. And it's like it's this reciprocal thing, because like on one hand, you know, you have to be kind of a nerd for a game to want to buy a asset at Target to get the game, but also how many millions of parents, how many millions of kids walk by the aisle at Target and see the game asset being sold there and go like, oh, I remember that thing, that game, that thing. Maybe I should play it. Maybe, you know, or a parent that goes like, my kids love Roblox. I'm just going to buy this because there's a Roblox logo on it at Target. You know, there's going to be a certain number of people who go like, oh, my DGen brother likes NFTs. Let's get him this thing. But I think it's going to be it's a reciprocal kind of opportunity. I feel like, you know, the bottles and the redeemable NFTs and things like that are like 1000% a step towards the future and how people are going to engage these things. I'm biased, of course.
Loyalty,
I love the idea.
royalty, engagement. It doesn't have to be that, you know, even as a company, we've decided you get the $1 equivalent asset, the $20 Mr. Suit equivalent bow tie, or the $100 equivalent Punk Ape Strong glasses. You know, we could say, here's one virtual ape or any other currency towards this. You know, we've chosen right now the ASPCA because we love animals, and that's something, you know, for us. But the reality is that because it's Web3, we get to ask our community, great, what is it you want? Do you want, are you saving up for your pair of glasses? Are you saving up for your, you know, Humane Society or whatever nonprofit donation that you get? Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
exactly.
I also think the whole ecosystem becomes more sustainable and more legit. Like, I love the fact that the NFTs are worth a lot of money and it's like super fun and it's this fun DGen game, and there's always going to be versions of that. And even in in the Roblox world, right, there's things that are worth more than other things, even with the in-game assets. But people don't talk about it in dollar value. They talk about it with the in-game stuff. But where I'm getting at is like, you know, it'll be a sign that we've made it, right? When it's not like, oh, the glasses are worth $100 and the hat's worth $50 or the whatever. It's like they're all a part of the game and it's a part of the engagement. And the hat's not worth $50. It's worth 20 strength points, and it makes my character stronger in this game. And if I wanted the same 20 strength points, I might have to just work for an extra week or whatever, and it's like a shortcut, and then you're willing to pay for it, and that makes a good game more than I know it's so nerdy, right? But that makes a better game than it's worth money, right? It actually means
this necklace gives me 20 bougie points.
Yeah, well, that's literally it, right? Like, I want more DGen. I want more DGen power, and my way to get more DGen power is to get the championship ring or whatever, right? And not the basic championship ring, the super championship ring, the gold one or the diamond one or the whatever, right? Like, there's going to be, I think that's going to be a thing, and until that happens, right, it's not actually a sustainable mainstream game. It's a bunch of us being goofy DGen dorks and made fun of by all of our family members. You know, I of course hope that like the OG apes and the certain things are worth a lot of money, because I'm going to hold mine, you know, I assume forever. But like, until I can swap it for a house, if I can swap it for a house somewhat near where I live, or a vacation home, you know, sayonara Punk Ape Strong. I'm sorry, but you know, but really, like, that's utility. We always joke like utility, but like, a real game utility means, not just, there's memberships, that is utility. That's legit. Going to that, like if you're a person that goes to that festival that you're talking about every year, that's pretty radical. I can buy a bottle of booze and I get membership to that and it supports the organization I love. That's super cool. That is utility. But when I talk about like mainstream millions of kids playing a game kind of utility, millions of adults playing a game kind of utility, that's what it is, right? Like people pay.
Yeah.
Like I joked about like, I don't know, Bejeweled or Candy Crush or whatever the heck those games are, like all those games. But those games make millions and millions of dollars of people who just are like, yeah, you know what? Fuck it. Like they're sick of it. They're laying in bed. They pay the 99 cents to not watch the ads anymore in the game, right? Or to skip a level that they just can't beat because it's frustrating the crap out of them. That's actual utility, right? Like when people start swapping an ape to do that.
Give me an NFT that gets me to the front of the line of bathroom at a festival.
That's IRL utility right there.
Like where?
You know
Where's
what? That might be sexist.
Private
because
access
women would probably
membership.
pay 10x what dudes would pay for that same thing. Or just access to it, clean restrooms.
Ooh, extra
VIP
NFTs now.
Or you buy it every time you go in line.
Yeah, you're literally like you think it's a stupid
to the next guy.
You need one heavy metal to enter.
Do they have a limited number of uses? Like, do they degrade? Because that's also a type of NFT I want. Like, I want ones that are kind of like trading cards and comic books, where if you trade them too many times, they start to degrade, and then they're not worth as much, right? Like after four swaps, the corners get dinged.
Toilet paper per visit. This one's worth 2 pieces.
I think every time an NFT is traded, like a collectible, there should be a percentage that goes up of the possibility of the corner getting dinged. And maybe you might just be super unlucky and you buy an NFT for the first time off of someone that only has like a 1% chance of the corner getting dinged, and it gets dinged because there's still a 1% chance, right? It's
or
like
you just lose a pixel every time. You're like,
that's what I'm saying. Like I think it's like degradable NFTs should be a thing. Like in some of these games, you could upgrade your characters, and there are these things where if you have more of the characters, your chance of upgrading goes up. But if it goes like if you have 1, it's a 20% chance of getting the upgrade. If you have 2, there's a 40% chance. But when you upgrade, all of those characters get burned. And if you don't upgrade, like if you did the 20% chance, you'll lose that character, right? You lose all your power. And so it's straight up an NFT situation, right? So imagine if I have a companion for the game, right? And the companion gets me, 100,000 energy or something. And I want to upgrade it to get the 1,000,000 energy companion. And if I have 5 of them, I can 100% convert those 5 into the one that gets me 1,000,000. So 500,000 to 1 million. That's a good deal, right? But you could take the 100,000 one, but there's only a 20% chance it upgrades. There's an 80% chance it just gets burned, right? Like now all of a sudden you have game mechanics, right? You have some crazy shit. And if you burn it and you lose, now there's also the people who have that specific companion. Now it's more rare, right? So like, I think, you take these basic game mechanics from kids' games that are like being utilized right now, you tie them to NFTs, and we win. And you know what? You want the higher chance of getting the super golden special one. You buy a bottle of bored vodka, because that one, has a 3% chance of getting the humongous special edition companion versus the 0.5% chance.
Yes, exactly. Mostly on the non-alcohol versions, because there's gamification that is a lot easier and
there are legal reasons and things,
non-vice sectors. But absolutely, I mean, blockchain itself is a positive sum game, because if you take the exact tenets you're talking about and you apply them on a base level to contemporary systems, you're saying, I now have more transparency, lower cost of transactions, fewer necessary middlemen for the same outputs, right? And then you add on top of that all of the advents in new kind of enabled layers that Web3 provides for outside of traditional mechanics, and it's just continued upside. I mean, here we are. You want limited numbers of the best sword in the game, right? You want to say, I know how rare this is, and I know that the parent company can't just decide to make 10 or 20 or 100 extra. There's one key, there's one Dookie Dash key, there's a certain number of, for better or worse, Gucci necklaces in the Yuga ecosystem. And they have value both because they have a partnership, but both because and potential utility, but because they have real scarcity.
Yeah. I mean,
it's exciting.
It's super exciting to me, like all of this stuff. I'm staring at my avatar and it's doing something weird, I think, because of my glasses, because like keeps looking like I'm sleeping.
Premium.
It's a premium. It's I've had too many premiums. Too much.
Like, are my eyes drifting, or is it
premium
NFT?
responsibly, friends? It's so cool. I have this like calibration thing where it like follows my face, and it's really cool. Anyway, guys, thank you. It was awesome hanging. I feel like we could just hang all day and talk about this stuff, which we need to do soon, IRL again. Maybe I'll plan a trip up north. We should do. There should be a crypto event at your distillery. Just saying.
You should just throw a giant party there.
That's what I'm saying. Like Northern California, there's got to be a good place for everyone to stay nearby, like a hotel or a resort, like in the off season, because like, you're somewhat near like you're in the snowy area during the winter, but is it like, are you in the mountains? Like close enough to one of those resorts where we could go there when it's off season and just kind of take over and have a party at your distillery?
Yeah,
have a premium NFT conference.
I think we could figure something out.
A premium NFT unconference, because
unconferenced. Yeah. we could definitely put something together.
We should degenerate that. There we go. My one bad pun dad joke is a good place to end, guys. Thank you so much. Stoked Blockchain Booze number 159. Anybody who wants to hop to blockchainbooze.io, you can redirect to the DGH event site, turn on your camera. There's a few folks, friends hanging out back there right now. I'll jump in there for a bit until my family goes for dinner, and I will see you all soon. Thanks for joining, everyone.
Hey,
I realized I was waving, even though you can't see my hand. I need to get one of those other Mr. Suit thingies.